Back in 2006, August 2006, I had just started my O levels third year, my 11th grade essentially, and I recently just got my results from my 10th grade. I got an A and two B's, Pakistan Studies, Urdu, and Islamiyat. So one day I just came back from school, and I saw that my mum was a little off. She was in a thinking mode. So I was like, I went over to her and I asked her what's going on. So she told me that one of my aunts had called, and she told her that her eldest son's result just turned in, and he got two 96s, two A's at 96 each. So I initially started off with making some excuses like maybe the result was a little lenient and the paper would have been easy. Maybe I screwed up my exam. I wasn't feeling well during my exam, so on and so forth. Well, I tried to give justifications of why I didn't score as well. According to me, getting an A and two B's was very good. I was not a very bright student. I used to score around 60s and 70s in my school exams, and getting an A, which is at 90 plus, and B, which is at 80 plus, was like a good achievement for me, right? So essentially, I ended up the conversation with my mom by saying, wait, just wait for 1 year and then we'll see. So I created a plan. I made this. I bought a printer. I printed past papers, all of that stuff. I took some help from tuitions and also so on and so forth. So essentially, I gave my 11th exams. Was happy that I did relatively okay. I thought I did relatively okay. August 2007, I was at the school to get my results. And what my school did was, they called the high achievers first. So the highest and the second, the third, the fourth, there were like a good 90 to maybe 100 students in my class. So they were going the highest achievers first. The first name was called out. Okay. I wasn't expecting that I'd be called out in the first 10 or 20 or 30 even. So the first name got called out. The second name got called out. The third name was Badr Abdul Razak. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to do so well, but I did. I looked at my results. Physics 97, math 97, add math 97, chemistry 97. There was one more. I forgot. Fair. So I was looking at my results. I was like, cool. I went home. I asked my mom, showed her the results. And the first thing that I said to her was, call the aunt. Tell her son got two 96s. I got four or maybe five 97s. Fair, again, the call didn't happen. I was just joking with my mom. It wasn't a serious comment. But the idea is that kids these days, they're like, why are our parents comparing? And it's not healthy for the students. It's not healthy for the students' minds to compare them to other kids. Maybe other kids are good at this. Maybe the other kids are good at that. I hope that you learned. I hope that you saw my previous video, that you really aren't bad at anything. So that's where I learned this lesson from. And that student which I was talking about in that video as well. It's simple, right? You can achieve wonders if you stop blaming others. All right. This is to blame, this is to blame, this is to blame, this is to blame. Stop doing that. It's of no use. Especially stop acting out towards your parents. I could have done that. I could have said that, oh, I'm hurt that my mother compared me to this and that. I'm actually thankful that she did, because if she had not done that, I probably wouldn't have done as well as I did in my exams. So it's a very special lesson to learn. Acha, So one more interesting thing. I always used to get scolded for not studying enough. That certificate, it was a certificate of not being scolded for the rest of my life for not studying enough. So if you're frustrated that your parents are after you for studying, well then study. What are you waiting for? Right? I just became a parent 9 months ago, July 21st. My firstborn, Saifullah. So I understand exactly how much your parents have sacrificed for you, how much time they've given you. So, isn't it all right to maybe have some expectations from you? They aren't expecting you to provide, they aren't expecting anything from you. All they're expecting from you is number one, to be obedient, and number two, to do one thing well, and that is to study. Now, I understand that it's not for everyone, but unfortunately, over here in Pakistan, you don't have a choice. Sports isn't a very lucrative career. So you're only left with one choice, and that choice is that you have to study well. And I don't think that anyone can come up with an excuse and say that I'm just bad at studies. No. Again, I just talked about that in my last video that you really aren't bad at anything if you work hard, if you are determined, and you have some courage. All right. So stop blaming the system. Stop blaming this. Stop blaming that. Again, it's unfortunate to say this, but stop hating your parents when they compare you to others, when they expect things from you. It's natural. Your parents will expect, and you are supposed to deliver on those expectations.